All right. Welcome back, everybody. We are still in the Cosrain Hill. You guys had just finished battling with what you discovered were drug smugglers.
And also yeeted them off cliffs.
You disposed of their remains and the last pieces of their any signs of their presence by pushing them off of cliffs.
But not Ted. We didn't push Ted over.
Correct. You kept Ted and the loot.
Oh, 290 gold pieces.
I don't know if you saw what I put in the adventure log about how much loot was found.
I haven't been on that nearly as much as I should.
Well, on our
Says
session
ask Snow.
ledger, it says 300 was found. So. And currently, just so everyone knows, the current party gold fund is at 247 gold pieces, 10 silver pieces, and 5 copper.
Reports may vary.
And then we all got 30 gold pieces.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Last session, I got 30.
Yeah, you should add 30 to your treasure fund. And you also, I believe, have some type of gem. Let me go back and check. You
Amethyst.
and yeah,
Okay.
it's worth 100
From
gold. So
Our great and mighty battle.
yeah, one whatever this is called, Anna Smith. It's the purple looking gem. Each of you got that. That's worth about 100 gold.
Amethyst.
Amethyst?
Amethyst. There we go.
All right. I believe I already put that, but let's see.
Make sure that's in your inventory too.
Into your little hawk quill. Or hawk feather. Mine's a
My
quill.
great big. How do we add things that aren't in the system?
So-
You add a custom item in your inventory, and then you can edit the name on that.
Ah, okay.
All right. It's about midday or so, and you all continue on your way. Casimir, reading his maps, he's just kind of has been watching you guys as you took care of all these things and dismantled the cart of the smugglers, and just kind of shrugging his shoulders at it pretty much, you know. He hired you to do a job, and this is part of doing it, then sure.
Can I check to see how much of this sort of thing he's really used to and how much he's shrugging off because he's actually seen this sort of thing before? You know, bodies being disposed of. He's not just the naive academic he plays.
Sure, go ahead and make an insight.
Did the... I don't know if I can retroactively do this, but did the bandits and stuff have backpacks? Any kind of satchels, sacks, or anything like that?
Yeah, they probably had one or two backpacks.
Okay. I just wanted to take those off and kind of rig them up as extra saddlebags on Ted if we're going to end up keeping him.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
And then I'm going to put the armor I scavenged from him in Ted's backpacks.
All right, sounds good.
Could also put the weapons. I think we have a couple of weapons from them we could throw in the saddles if we wanted.
I'm going to size up Casimir. How much does it look like he weighs?
150. Maybe.
All right. Like a small child, I'll lift him into the saddle of Ted.
Oh, all right. I suppose. I was okay to walk.
I know you're okay to walk, but you don't move very fast, and you're the best one to keep the horse safe if anything else happens.
Javid, as far as you can tell, he just doesn't seem fazed by anything that you guys have done so. Whether or not that is from having seen it before is probably, I would say you can tell that's unlikely. He just not bothered. All right. Did you guys all make sure to take a short rest?
I did.
I did not.
Neither
Let
did
me see.
I. Mm,
Could I have cooked?
Yeah, if that's as part of a short rest, sure.
Okay. Boop. Okay, then I'm gonna. Anybody else can roll for adding extra hit points, and then I'm gonna do that too.
Isn't it just one dice? You roll one d8, and that applies to everyone?
Oh, does it?
I think so.
I'm not sure. It
I
says
think
you
it's
gain
just
a bonus to the Constitution Wisdom.
No, it's
Hold on.
everyone else gets an additional D8 they can roll, so it's basically an
Okay.
extra hit die.
Okay.
All right.
Also, just for party information, I put a Ted's backpack journal entry in the Foundry page.
Where's the Christmas music on?
Oh, sorry, it's me. I'm mute.
Oh no, that's fine. I like it. It's just like, oh, that's cool.
I've got it on
It's just
25 Days of Christmas for background noise for baby sleeping.
All right. You all continue on your way. You begin a downward descent. You've crested one of the peaks, or at least made your way through one of the valley portions, and are beginning to kind of make your way down another side into the rise and fall of the mountains themselves. You can see small little rivers kind of running down here, occasional small pine tree growing amongst things here, bushes on either side, large boulders on either side of the path. Now it's starting to look like this kind of flat, not necessarily well worn, but it is a path that you are following. A pretty obvious trail, essentially.
Are there signs of anybody else having used this trail? Like maybe in front of us, or...
Go ahead and give me a survival check. You can see there are a few tracks going the direction that you have come from towards you, essentially, as well as hoof prints and wagon trails. Additionally, if you guys would like to, if I assume you're resuming your normal traveling organization, so if you guys would go ahead and give me your perception checks.
Still trying to do the short rest heal. Found the short rest menu finally. And it says roll the hit die and it'll automatically add it, but it's not showing that it's rolled.
So do you click
I saw that
the
you
little
rolled
box?
one. I saw you rolled a 14 on a hit die. Well, that was a...
Okay.
You rolled a D... Oh, yeah, you rolled a 14. And you also rolled
It's
a
not showing
12.
up in my game log.
That's odd.
Yeah, it says the last things that were rolled were Azrael on the 5th, and then Azrael 2 minutes ago, and then everybody's perception checks.
Did you check your actual hit points? They should have just automatically increased.
Yeah, they haven't.
Did you click
It's
the
still
actual
22.
box? I think you have to
The
like
long
click
rest
in.
box.
Yeah, take a short rest. But I mean, when you roll the dice, did you click the box? There should be like a square box, and you click that.
Mhm. Yeah. No,
Hmm.
maybe not.
If you
Nope, did not.
rolled hit
Haha.
die, and then did you click take short rest? Because I think that's the apply button.
Okay. Take short rest. Got it.
All right.
Okay. But doesn't look like it's added yet. I don't
You might have to
know.
refresh your page because sometimes, like, when hit points change, they don't update on the page.
Okay.
Hit points and spell slots, if you don't, like, click them yourself, it, like, doesn't change
Okay, so
sometimes.
you have to... So you click
It's
on the
still at
short
22.
rest button. Refresh your page.
I did.
Do it again.
Okay.
So if you click under, you see under short rest, and then there's barbarian, and you can click the two little boxes for how many hit die you want to spend, and then you click roll, and then click take short rest.
Oh, got it. Okay, thank you. All right, and then you said perception.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. You guys kind of beginning to make your way on this path. You notice wildlife and other creatures on either side. You spot a small little herd of deer that are kind of like picking their way through some of the bushes and underbrush on the like far side of the little valley that you guys are kind of snaking your way along. A few hours pass as you travel. Casimir's kind of like pointing this way. You guys get to a fork in the trail at one point, and you guys are able to spot what appears to be remnants of an ancient signpost. It's an obvious rectangular placed board bedded in the ground at this corner, but there's no signs on it at all. And Casimir kind of looks at it and reviews the map before directing you guys down the lower path and kind of off into the woods that way.
You said there was the ruin of a sign, or
It looks like what it used to be an old signpost, but there's no actual directions on it. It's just the obvious, there was a rectangular beam that you would have had signs nailed to, but they're gone now, basically.
And is Casimir kind of directing us in one way or the other, or does he look
Yeah.
confused?
No, he directs you guys down one of the paths. And you would be able to tell that this is also the same path that the smugglers had come from.
Javid, that type of route, Is that commonly found in the Underdark?
No, it's a plant. Grows on the surface.
Where?
DM, where does that grow? I think we established it was a desert plant.
Yeah. So it's most commonly found to the east in the Torrid Wastes and a little bit further south toward the Philo Shrubland, but that's about it.
What do you call that plant?
It's a lorry, and it gives an enhancement to perception. So we use it to heighten our senses.
What would drug smugglers be doing in the Underdark?
You guys are not in the Underdark.
Right, but aren't we
Well,
heading towards the Underdark?
Ted said that they were in the dark. Underground, maybe? I don't think he said underground, but in the dark was what he said.
I guess the mines, right? Because aren't we going to the mines? Or we're going to the Underdark via the mines, right?
He thinks that there should be more signs of things in the Underdark. So yes, eventually you are going to potentially gain access to the Underdark.
Based off
Are
of...
we,
Oh, go ahead.
are we actually going right now? Do we know?
Yeah, Casimir has something marked out on the map where he wants us to go.
Hey, Casimir, where the hell are we going?
We are going to an old mine that was location of one of an excavation some years back, where they discovered signs of runestone and some other relics of the old civilization. So I just intend to, poke around a bit and see if we can't find something more interesting.
Does a mine sound like an old abandoned mine? Does that sound like somewhere like a drug smuggling operation might be based out of?
Could be. I don't know.
No, I'm asking based off of I'm asking if I can roll for that based off of Azrael's knowledge.
Sure. You could make a like an intellect sleight of hand check, or maybe intellect deception, something like that.
Okay, I'll do sleight of hand and then just subtract 1. Nope.
I mean, anywhere that the law isn't going to pay attention to you is a good spot, you know.
When was the last time there was any official excavation done at this mine, Casimir?
Oh, quite some time ago, I believe, possibly 50, 60 years ago.
And has anybody been to the mine in an official capacity since then? Or maybe in an unofficial capacity just to see what's going on with the mine?
No, as far as I know, I mean, maybe people have visited in the past, but no one officially from the Everhold.
Sounds ripe for drug smuggling.
Absolutely. And I'm sure it will go well if we interact with them. We'll just ask them to poke around a bit.
Yeah,
How much
I
longer?
don't see a problem with this.
How much longer do you think until we get there?
Shouldn't be long, actually. I would anticipate either this tonight if we keep going, or tomorrow morning.
If we keep going, will we take exhaustion, or could we get to the mine in the middle of the night without hitting exhaustion levels?
Let me check. It's how long is it?
8 hours. Every hour past that, it's a con save to take exhaustion.
Yeah, you'd probably have to. You'd be pushing it.
Well, it'd probably be best that we do it in the morning anyways.
I mean, we did have that kerfuffle earlier today. We could all probably use a good night's rest before we go into the deep darks.
Yeah. My one thought is they might be sleeping, but I suppose if we take an early night, we might be able to surprise them in the early morning.
If anybody should sleep, it's you, Sleepyhead. You were the only one that napped during the last fight.
Oh, I had a rest. I'm good.
And
Although, truly, if we are going to anticipate coming across anyone, I would like to recharge. My spell slots are tapped.
and I assume this official business isn't necessarily shared with everyone, so we might still have the element of surprise even in the day, if it's been unvisited for so long.
Plus, ogres are nocturnal anyway, so it's better for us to go in at night, go in during the day.
And about what time is it now?
A little after midday.
Why don't we just go a little bit further and then camp?
Oh, Azrael, I did have a question for you. That sword you picked
Yes.
up, do you mind if I borrow it?
You can have it.
Oh. Well, thanks. I'm gonna awkwardly hold it like I have no idea what it does or how to do it. It's like very like awkwardly weighted, and I'm like pointing it weird.
Do you need help?
Do you know how to use these? I figured I would talk to Briar. She's pretty used to swinging big, heavy things.
No. Briar might.
Briar! And I like run towards her, like holding the sword up in the air.
Hey, I can probably help you with that.
I might need some lessons on this thing.
Oh, I'm more so with the axe, but I figure, it's transferable skills.
Big, heavy. We're both strong.
Yeah, we could do this. Figure it out together.
Right, I'm gonna put it on my back, like between my shoulder blades, like obviously how it's not meant to be worn as a long sword.
I mean, it looks right to me.
Can I walk over and just like correct it how it should be? Just so he doesn't look like completely inept.
Yeah, you kind
Or
of
like he's about to slice his buns off.
make it so he can actually get it out of its sheath.
Don't hurt yourself.
I'll be alright. But thanks for the concern. It's nice to show. Nice that you're
trial and
showing
error is
some
how everybody
concern.
learns.
If he slices off a piece of meat, that's less hunting.
Don't think I'm gonna cook some ass today.
Oh, you haven't had rump roast?
That's a good point. It's pretty tasty. Never had kitty rump either.
Me neither. Might be
Whoa,
good.
whoa, whoa! There's only one kitty here, and I like look around to see if I can see Snow.
Row.
That's a kitty. I'm a Leonin.
Big kitty.
Yeah, I'm gonna like pull on your fur. Be like,
I just like smack her hand. Don't touch that.
Little tufts of it come
Look
away.
at his tail twitch. That's kitty.
All right, I'm done with this, and I'm just gonna like walk off.
Ooh, do you think they purr when they're mad like regular cats? Isn't that a thing?
Depends. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
when they're
some
mad, they
roar,
go.
some meow.
You have whiskers?
Yes,
Ooh.
I do.
can I take out my silk rope and kind of like, you know how cats like they like play with twine? Can I just like kind of dangle it to see?
In front of me?
Yeah.
I'm leaving. I'm walking off. I'm like down the trail. You got to catch up to me if you want to do that. I'm perturbed with this conversation and how it went.
We'll try it later. When he's cooled off. Maybe it'll help him get some of that like extra anger out.
I think we're gonna have to sneak it.
Is he walking? Are you walking down the path?
Yeah, I'm like going out in front of everybody, like walking away from this.
Ooh, we can tie one of the hawk feathers to it.
Let's do a little test. I pull out a ball bearing and I just like chuck it down the road so it rolls in front of him.
Do I see it?
Yeah, just kind of pink, pink, pink through the dirt in front of you on the trail.
I look at it, I'm like, what the fuck? I like pick it up, toss it in my hand, like turn around and look.
He's playing with it. He's playing with it.
I see them all giggling, and I just like, just like spike it into the ground and just keep walking off.
I chased my ball bearing.
Alright. It just kind of like thuds into the dirt, kind of sends like a little cloud of dust up a little bit. You're able to get it back. Alright. Javid, you are in the front, I believe.
Not anymore.
Yes.
Well,
Oh.
he probably,
I
at
think
this point...
Onyx probably caught up with me, I would think.
So, yes, Onyx, you kind of catch up to Javid, and as he does so, you suddenly note in front of you, there's kind of a shift in the tracks in front of you. The footsteps become kind of like muddied, and they're no longer just like walking in a line, as you've probably been able to tell up to this point. The dirt is like scuffed and marred. There's signs of combat. Additionally, you spot amongst some bushes off to the side this like kind of like dark red spot where blood has soaked into the ground. As well, a few very large footprints.
I'll signal to the party to halt, and I want to look closely and see if I can identify the footprints and get a sense for what happened, who attacked, who survived or didn't. Any bodies or just bloody spots?
As far as you can tell, just bloody spots.
I'm gonna give the blood a sniff to see if I can denote any specifics out of it, like direction, if there was a body here that's no longer here, if I can pick up anything from it.
Sure.
Like, my tribe's whole thing was hunting, so I feel like smelling blood would be a thing.
That would be a survival check. Go for it.
And can I tell if the bodies were perhaps picked up and carried off? Can I track perhaps large footprints carrying a load? Maybe a drippy, bloody body load?
Javid, what you can tell is that yes, there is sign that where a body had fallen off to the side. In fact, you found 3 spots where there were bodies. they were all picked up, and you can see like drops of blood heading off down the trail in the direction in which you are traveling. Onyx, you can tell that the blood is most likely human.
Well, this tracks with the story they said. Like, we overheard them talking about the fact that their caravan got hit by ogres. So, based off what you found, 3 bodies, he said he lost some things that were close to him, and this was personal to him, so that's why they were moving so fast. And my brain hurts because I put that together.
Do you need to take a short rest and recover that brain capacity?
Yeah, I just wiped the blood off the end of my nose. I think I'm done thinking for the day.
The rest of you are kind of back a ways, where you've gotten Bill to stop, and Casimir's just kind of watching. I wonder what they've found.
What time of day is this? Is this like twilight?
Mid-afternoon.
Mid-afternoon. Okay.
It's bright out, but the sun has disappeared over the mountains, so you can't see it anymore. And it's starting to get a little chilly.
All right. Once I've surveyed the scene and Onyx and I think we've determined what's going on, I'll brief the rest of the party. Let them know. Yeah, looks like we could come across some well-fed ogres.
Silent approach.
Wait, there's tracks of like ogres here?
Yes, I mean that's what I was able to determine that the large footprints were. I assume.
Yes, you would be able to make those assumptions.
Yeah, it's getting dark, and if this is like an ambush point for ogres, mayhaps we should like not be here.
Should take them out first.
If we can find him.
Let's see how large a party of ogres it is. How many sets of large footprints are there?
Just a single set.
I could send Wanda out to see if she can find any of them. Or
Right. Yep. So the ogre went off in that direction. I point up the path. Yes, if you could see if Wanda can spot any large bodies carrying 3 human bodies.
okay, I talked to her and sent her that way.
Are we all like standing around this clearing, like waiting for this to happen?
I thought we were a bit far back because you guys came back to us, right? So we're not quite in the clearing. We're probably a little bit further back in the path.
Right. I think I would have signaled a halt while you were 60 or more feet behind the spot we found where the dust up was.
Point of order, what's the weather like?
Cloudless.
Okay.
Cool.
Did you discuss the bird calls with us, Veed?
Yeah, I would have said here are the signals I'd like to use to signal for advance, halt, retreat, rally. I think there was another one.
You said
Hi.
alert already, right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. You want me to roll for her, or?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Javid, are you gonna like demonstrate these so we know when they come?
The player is not going to. Javid has done.
Nice try. All right.
around to see if there's any traps? Like the ogre, I mean, I know they're not super intelligent, but maybe some type of alert system to alert them that there are people out here.
Sure, go ahead and give me a investigation check. There are no signs of any traps or other objects that might be used to signal anyway. None that you find.
All right, so I think we've learned what we can from this spot. We should move forward, look for a place for us to either shelter or we'll see what we find in the way of ogre sign.
How loud is Ted? Like, is the horse very, very loud and obvious, or is he trained to be silent?
He's a normal horse. Nothing. It's not like sneaking around or anything. He whinnies sometimes, and his horseshoes clop, but normal.
All right, I'm gonna take Casimir off the horse. Silence.
Oh, all right. All right. A few moments later, Wanda reports back, and at least for the next few kind of twists and turns and over the next hill, it is clear.
Right, guys. I mean, doesn't see anything. Maybe they've been well on their way. Could you tell how old the blood was?
It is about a day or so old.
Okay, so he thinks there's nothing to worry about. We might be safe to keep going.
It is dry, at least.
Well, if they're nocturnal, do we need to not, continue on and try to rest at dark? Is that they're gonna get the drop on us? I just feel it.
Casimir, how far away are we from the entrance to the mines? Like from this point?
As I said, pretty close. It should be on the other side of the next hill, so just a few more hours of travel.
What's a few more? 3, 5, 7, 14?
I would say 3 hours.
Around 3?
Yes.
So,
And
I don't know. They've already been here. So they've already know that this is done with. So I don't know, like, if it's only 3 hours of travel, if we go ahead and rest now, get up a little bit earlier, we could get to the entrance to the mines a little bit earlier, right when it's about their bedtime, figure out a plan, send Wanda in, see what they're up to, and while they're going to sleep is when we can make our entrance into the mines.
no guarantee they won't come.
No, there's no guarantee for anything out here, but
I would
might as
be
well.
inclined to think that they wouldn't be going out since they've made, uh, I would guess, a sizable haul of meat. They should be satisfied for a while.
DM, would I know how often ogres eat?
You can make a nature check.
I just know that when my tribe was hunting, if we made a kill, we don't go to the place we made a kill to get more things to kill.
Hey, Javid, did it come up in conversation with the pony about the ogres?
I do not remember speaking as Jim, not Javid.
You did not ask. You guys were very curious about where Bill had come from.
Well, maybe we should ask him about the ogres.
Ted?
Sorry, Ted, yeah. Bill's the other one.
I'm gonna look around in the trees, see if I see any like fruits or anything like that in the trees around us.
Go ahead and give me a survival check. None that you notice. It is the kind of trees and other things around here aren't really, the fruiting kind. It's the occasional pine and just like small shrubs. Really, there's not any kind of foraging type plant life.
Is there a good place to set up camp if we were to set up camp? Like, not in the blood-filled clearing, but, somewhere that maybe we could set up some, I don't know, traps or reinforcements?
Yeah, if we're thinking about hitting the ogres about their bedtime, we should probably get an hour or so further, so that we're perhaps maybe an hour or so outside the mines, and look for a spot there.
That's more dangerous. Sleep here, no sleep.
I feel like as long as we're alert, I mean, I'm okay with fighting some ogres that are trying to start something, because at least we could possibly protect someone else traveling down the road. So as long as maybe we have 2 people on watch at a time and can just pay extra attention, then I think we'll be fine.
Right. I'd like to find a little nook like we had last night, rather than a clearing.
So are we all down for resting now around this area, getting up a little bit earlier and going?
That would be my vote.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty indifferent, so I'm cool with whatever majority is.
All right. I'll look for a sheltered spot that would get us out of the wind and a little bit of protection in the rocks, that sort of thing.
All right. You continue up the rise and kind of wind your way through a narrowing in the path and the rocks kind of rising on either side. Wow. At which you can take a step from behind a corner and you see a pair of goblins kind of standing there, hunched over, staring into the dirt. And you're able to kind of like step back a little bit around the corner before they appear to have noticed you.
Hold on, who notices that they're there?
Javid, since he's in the front. The rest of you, as you're kind of like moving through this narrow pass, suddenly see Javid almost like leap back.
And I give the halt signal.
I keep going forward.
And
Okay.
so quick whisper to Onox, or do you mean to speak with them? To
Speak with the goblins up here?
Yep.
Absolutely not. There's only 2 of them. Let's do this.
Do what?
make them no longer a problem?
They're not a problem.
They're going to be.
They are not necessarily at all going to be. I've had many encounters with goblins, and we have on this trip where we were simply able to make our way past without harm um, or issue on either side. We don't need to hurt them. Let's find out what who they are, what they know, and I mean, these are probably the same goblins that got kicked out of their cave by the ogres. They're no friends of the ogres, and might even be allies in our fight.
Or they're the ones that stayed back to help the ogres out.
Can I ask a question? How high are the cliffs up here? Or up here?
Steep.
But, well, I don't care that they're steep. I care how high they are.
30 feet plus.
Answer the question asked.
All right, I guess I missed it a little bit. Like, where exactly are they in relation to where we are?
There's a map.
Map eye.
I'm gonna start to spider climb up the cliff just to see what they're stopped and talking about. So I can get up to the top, because I'm assuming once you get up to the top, you can overlook and see what's down on the path.
Sorry, what was your question?
So I'm saying, I assume that once you climb to the top of the cliffs, you can walk along them and see what's down on the path.
You could.
Yeah, I'm gonna start spider climbing up the cliffs to get up to the top, so I can see what they're talking about.
All right. Are you being stealthy?
Yes, I am.
All right, go ahead and give me a stealth.
Can we see the goblins?
I might use guidance as well.
They're around the corner.
You guys are stopped around the corner sufficiently far enough back that you can't see the goblin.
You're so
There you go.
soft
So that would
hearted.
be 19.
I want to walk up to these two, Anox and Javid, and ask, what are we talking about?
Well, Javid thinks that the little green guys deserve a pass. I think we should throw them off the cliffs.
What? You feel that way about me? I'm a little green thing.
No, but you actually
No.
talk intelligently in a language that I can understand. They just like to
Wow.
eat people.
This is wildly offensive, sir. Okay, no. Javid, I think you're right. We need to give these guys a chance. Didn't you say you talked to one just a little while ago anyway?
Yeah, night before last.
Was he okay?
Or was it last night? Lost track.
It would have been a couple nights ago.
A couple of nights. Yeah. And we had a nice little conversation.
Yeah. Just because you don't speak their language doesn't mean that they're not intelligent.
They also
sir.
speak common.
I never said they weren't intelligent. Those words never came out of my mouth.
You just want to squish a little dude just because he's little.
Okay, you got me on that one.
I'm little. What you trying
Yeah,
to
but
do?
you're big where it counts. And I kind of like smack my bicep and like point at her.
Nah, dude, no. We gotta go try and talk to these guys.
All right. I back up and see if I can't flag Azriel down.
She is gone. She is over the top
yeah.
of the cliff and is like walking along above it. You guys can no longer see her.
Oof. I'm gonna go back to Dimitar. Hey, Dimitar, I got a question for us.
Uh-huh.
Can you do that invisible thing like Asriel does?
Nope, that's just Asriel.
No, you.
What's going on?
Nothing. I'll just kind of like cross my arms and wait. Actually, no. I'll pull the long sword out.
I'm just gonna walk past him and go to Javid and see what the hell's going on.
As this is happening, Asriel, you kind of get over to the cliff above. You're careful to not step on any spots that might have loose rocks that would fall away. And you kind of peek over the edge, and you can see it is not 2 goblins, it is 5 goblins. And towering over the rest of them is an ogre. It is eating half of what appears to be a humanoid torso, just like taking a chunk out of it and just kind of slowly gnashing its teeth.
Do I see Wanda?
You do not.
All right, I'm gonna very stealthily go back to where they are.
All right. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Do I see Asriel?
You guys said you wanted to go talk to them, right?
No, we're waiting for Azrael.
All right.
Being
When
quiet.
Onyx drew his sword, I'm gonna unsling my bow.
Getting everything caught up from Javid. How close is the... Oh wait, I don't know this yet. Darn it. Okay, I'm gonna send Wanda up to see the big picture going on over there, I guess.
All right.
Snow. There's
Right.
goblins up ahead again.
Yeah.
And Javid's
Okay.
saying that we should let them live.
So I do think Azrael would not want them to run forward, and I do think Javid would have taught her the alert or whatever. Don't do anything. Just stop. Stay where you are. So I'm gonna see if she can try to mimic that bird call.
Okay, go ahead and give me a
How ma-
performance check.
How many are there?
I don't know. Javid said like 2.
2? There's
2.
6 of us.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we go up there, we chuck those dudes off the cliff, we keep moving.
Well, maybe not toss them on a cliff, but turn them into shish kebabs.
I don't know. I feel like tossing them off a cliff's kind of my thing at this point.
Oh, let's
They
shish
near
kebab
me
them
at
first
all?
and then you can throw it off.
You're down. Yeah, they're probably like a couple feet behind you. You can kind of hear them whispering to each other.
So that'd be
I'll go
11
over there and be
total.
like, "I'm not talking about doing murder, are you?
No, absolutely not.
You know, some
he's
of
talking
my
about
buddies are
doing murder.
goblins, right?
Here? Or in the Feywild?
I mean, not on this plane. Yeah, no, Feywild.
Well, it sounds like Feywild goblins are way cooler than the goblins over here.
What
Still
goblin
not
hurt
cool
you,
with murder.
Onox?
But I'm not talking about murder. I'm just talking about Snow, about some other stuff that we had going on.
Yeah.
All right,
Business dealings.
kitty things.
Speaking
Got
of
it.
which, like, did you ever manage to get that stuff?
As you guys are having this conversation, you hear a strange bird noise, but you're not quite able to place exactly what it is.
Can I tell that it's not really a bird noise?
You'd probably be able to tell it's not a bird noise. I think you'd be able to tell it's Asriel, but the exact meaning of it is muddled. It doesn't sound like any of the ones you taught her, but you can tell that it's her attempting to do a bird noise.
I think I hear a bird. Better be careful, Briar.
Was it like a distressed squawk, or is it like a?
I don't know. I didn't quite make it out.
Yeah, something like that, like a.
I'm not really familiar with your birds, but that sounds ill. We like go check it out.
Has Wanda gotten over there yet?
Yeah, at this point, Wanda's kind of flown overhead. Azrael, you can see Wanda kind of like over in front of you, like flies overhead.
Can I signal to Wanda?
Sure. All right. As you wave your hands hurriedly, Demetari in your head, Wanda informs you that Asriel is attempting to get your attention.
Okay, alright, I'll send Wanda wherever Azrael gestured. Ask her to do it, visual about it. Normal bird.
All right. Wanda's kind of like circling around you now, Asriel.
Alright, I'm gonna
Oh.
signal like what was it? 5 goblins, right?
Yes.
5 goblins. Big ogre. Danger, danger.
Hey, Dimitar, you said Azrael's trying to get your attention. Get her to come back down here. I need her.
Well, she
Are
technically.
you back around me? Because I left you. Give me answers, so I'm up where Javid is.
You said that to the party.
I haven't said anything yet.
Oh, oops.
So are you still pretty far away? You and Snow are kind of doing your own little thing, right?
I feel like we're pretty close.
Alright, well, all I'm imagining is Azrael just like playing charades as an ogre, and that brings me.
Yeah, she's basically up there
Okay.
doing like shapes and trying to like indicate things, and you know, you
Does the message get across?
you'd probably be able to get the idea that she is gesturing frantically that there are things down there. And I would say that it's a quick enough jaunt over to the edge that Wanda is able to fly over. And are you looking through Wanda's eyes, or are you just kind of waiting for Wanda to relay this information to you?
Just let it relay.
All right. Wanda informs you that there are enemies over there.
And I know what they are. I'm assuming like how.
Wanda would be able to tell you that there's a big one. Pretty much is the extent of it.
Okay, well at that point I would look through her eyes just to be sure, but I'll just do that real quick, and then come back. I'm gonna let the people around me know there's 5 goblins and an ogre. Yeah, an ogre. So how smart are ogres, out of curiosity? Because I have an idea.
Oh, hold on. Before we get to that, get Azrael back down here.
Make a nature check.
Me?
Yes. Azrael, are you going back down?
Yeah, she very quietly.
At this point, you're able to. The rest of you can see Azrael just like walk down the side of the cliff.
I'm waving my arms frantically at her.
All right, I'll very quietly, like, go over and be like, "There are 5 goblins and an ogre. Danger.
Yeah. Do the invisible thing.
You want to fight them?
Do the invisible thing. I got a plan.
Right. Before you start any plans, do we know if the goblins are with the ogre or are intimidated by it, and the ogre has sort of got them held hostage or something?
They seem friendly to ogres.
So they need to die.
Yeah, do the invisible. All right.
I want to hide
can't
and spy on them.
do invisible only once a day.
All right, Javi, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
So I have thought of something. Don't know how well it'll work, but I can run it by you. Do I know if ogres are smart or not? I rolled like an 11.
You probably heard that they're dumb, but you don't know how dumb they are.
Okay, so our biggest problem is the ogre. So I have this spell that allows me 5-foot circle with a rope, and then snare the person inside the rope. Cool thing is I could send Wanda in with the rope, or do a quick circle, maybe around the ogre. And if he moves, he's trapped. And then we just have the goblins to take on.
Okay, that's a thought. Azrael, how close were they to the edge?
How close were they to the edge? by the way, are we at the mine, or are they just literally in the middle of the path? Like,
They're
looking
just
like
on the
they're
path. You've only, you walked like maybe another 20 minutes after you found the signs of battle.
How close were they to the edge?
Yeah, how close were they to the edge?
I, for one, would like to know how close to the edge
20 plus feet.
20 feet.
Oof. Never mind. Wouldn't work. Because I can do that thing where I clap my hands and I push them all back 10 feet. And I could just, like, eat them over the edge, and then we only got the ogre to deal with.
We could go over. And I point up.
Yeah, but I can only push them, like, 10 feet or so. So they'd have to be fairly close.
No, just over.
could get-
Avoid.
Yeah, only you can, like, walk up
Briar
walls
can
like it.
fly.
I can't. And Casimir raises his hand.
No one
dare
asked you.
We also have
You know
a
what?
horse
Yes,
that
you
can't
mustn't
climb a
leave
steep
Ted.
cliff.
Whoa, don't meh, Ted. Alright. Javid actually had a wholesome conversation with this horse. He's part of the party at this point.
Ted
I
wins.
You're
just
not
stare at
taking part,
you,
you're
like,
staying back.
very disagreement. Like, no. No.
Ted whinnies in a sense.
Kinda-
Ooh. No, I shut that horse up.
Alright, well, it sounds like it's
Can
going to
you
be a
muzzle
fight
a
either way.
horse?
So it sounds like it's going to be a fight either way. So, ogres are just going to fight. I've had experiences with them. They're dumb. Their fists are full of stones. It's rough. So either try to pick off a couple and then lead them back to where we want them to be, like entice them into a chase, into a better location, or we just go in there swinging.
We've got a
As
choke point
he's-
right here, actually. So if we backed up a little bit, positioned ourselves, and then had somebody go out as bait to lure them into our trap.
I
But,
point to the horse. When you say bait, I'm like, I point directly to the horse.
I smack her hand down.
As they're discussing, I have cut 25 feet worth of rope.
How much does Casimir weigh, by the way? I know we established this, but I'm going to
150.
ask you. 150. Damn, I can't carry him.
Yeah, but me and Briar could shot put him over the hills.
You can drag, though. You can drag, like, double your carry weight, right?
yeah,
Gonna drag this kid up a cliff.
Well, yeah, I could, like, take my rope as, like, a harness.
Oh, Discord crash.
We notice if there were like any loose rocks above them, like bigger ones, we could possibly push down.
Yeah, I think going up the cliff is the safest. I don't think we should fight them on the ground. I think we need to go up and then, like, attack.
We
From
could,
above.
if we have to fight them, we could, like, from above and below and catch them on two fronts.
that is a good
Those
idea.
of us with range
Casimir.
could go up.
Do I know enough about goblins to know if they have like really great climbing skills?
Go ahead and give me a nature check. Good question.
Can I
Couldn't
can
tell
I
you.
have advantage since I know a lot about goblins?
Sure, you can roll again. The goblins from the Feywild speak often of their climbing skill.
I feel like my buddies We're like all the time competing on who could climb and shit. Best. So I don't know. I feel like I remember that. They might be able to clamber up after us, you know?
We can kill them
Right,
as
but
they climb.
they'd be clamoring, and we drop a rock on them or something and put an end to the clamoring.
Or if someone's stealthy enough, pick up and then, like, I don't remember who mentioned it, but distract, right? Pull them towards the edge of the cliff, and then try to push them off. I mean, because Azrael, you said you can't turn invisible again.
Nope.
Well, I could probably Misty Step over there.
Well, how about this? How about me and Azrael go up the cliff? I'll get their attention because I'm loud as fuck, and we'll be like a little distraction. And if they try to attack us, then we'll have their attention, and y'all can come around the side and do whatever you're gonna do.
Rather than the distraction from the top, why don't we get people up top with range, have the bait step out from behind the rock at the choke point and say, "Yanny, yanny, yanny, come and get it, boys," and we initiate it that way.
I don't know. I like Briar's idea of having their
Mhm.
focus up top more better. Like, because you're pretty live yourself. Azrael could probably help you up to the top. So you three up top.
Casimir up top.
I would say we just have Casimir wait, like, back on the path while we deal with this a little bit.
Too
He
dangerous.
needs to stay with them, but yeah, I can dig that.
I mean, Snow has, like, a pretty good range as well, so he can keep more of a lookout while being closer to Casimir. Dimitari and I will be on the path to come in after you guys try to take out one, maybe two of the goblins. Because you still have javelins, right, Briar?
Yeah, and if there's loose rocks, I mean, I'm pretty good at tossing things.
Yeah, so you... Ooh, if there's a boulder up there, you can roll down on top of them while you're up there. Hold on. Azrael, can you run back up there real quick, see if there's any loose boulders or anything that reasonably me and Briar could move?
Do I remember any big loose rocks and boulders while I was up there?
There were a few large ones, just kind of around.
There were boulders.
So why don't me and Briar go up there and roll stuff down on them, scatter them? They won't understand what's going on as long as we back away from the edge.
At your melee, you'd be up out of melee range at the top of the cliff. Better to get the.
I can get down just fine. I don't need help getting back down. I can get down there.
Well, if they climb up to, he can do his little thunderclap thingy and knock them off the cliff.
Yeah, and I'm pretty good at getting back down too. So
Well, as long as Briar's helicopter wings don't alert him, she can just carry me up there real quick. We'll roll the boulder.
Well, I'm sure that would be too loud.
Well, if she did it far enough back.
Briar
trying to
will
do
get
the
their
whole-
attention.
Well, not if we go back around the corner. Like, right here, yes. But if we go back around the corner, we go up a little ways, walk our way over there, roll the boulder. I'll jump down in it as you guys come around the corner. Like, the crashing rocks is going to be indication enough that shit is kicked off.
okay, you're a kitty, right? Kitties are pretty good at climbing, right?
Do you see how massive I am? These claws are not going to hold me against that rock.
Yeah, but it makes me wonder how stealthy you'll be.
Who needs stealth when you're rolling rocks?
Someone who's trying to the element of surprise.
That's you guys. I'm throwing the rock.
Yeah, we're the distraction.
Now it's all over the cliffs
What
again.
about Snow though? So can Snow also climb? Like,
Snow can
Tabaxi
climb. I'm from the mountains.
because
Yeah.
okay, so because what we want them to not know anything until the boulders hit them, right?
I mean, sure, but even
Well,
if
I
they're
can go up
alerted
top
that
with them.
even if they're alerted that stuff's happening above them, what are they going to do? Like look up and try to find us when they see
They're
a?
gonna run down the path and run right into us.
That's why you're there.
How tall are
I can.
ogres?
10 feet tall.
Okay.
We want them to
I can also start
be
peppering
where
them from up top.
boulders can.
You said they were grouped up pretty well.
Yeah,
So
we
as
want
long
them
as-
to stay there.
As long as we can send a rock, try to aim for the ogre. Goblins are not an issue. They're small, puny. Like their their like constitution is not very high. Like they go down pretty easily. But ogres are pretty rough. So as long as Briar and I can yeet a boulder at the ogre, potentially knock him off, if not at least hurt him pretty good, that'll make the fight significantly easier.
I think Snow and Onyx should go up for the boulder because both are range, both can be very quiet, push the boulder off. Then once the boulder goes down, then we can ambush them.
And
I
we can
like-
start. Well, I can start peppering them from up top.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, why don't Briar, me, and Snow go? Snow's got the range to start peppering them, but I'm going to need the muscle Briar has, and also she can carry me up there.
Well, Briar is loud and will attract attention, right? The idea is you two do it stealthfully. I could
Snow can go
walk up,
first, and
tie
then
a
you and I
rope
can
up.
come back as soon as afterwards. You know.
Well, I mean, if you guys are worried about climbing up, I could climb up, tie the rope off somewhere, and then you guys could just climb the rope. And that way you guys can do it stealthily. And then Briar can, be in her melee, because that's also, Briar doesn't have much in the way of range where you do.
I'm with
And
it.
Briar could alert their attention. Like we could we could be, stealthy and hiding and waiting in like an ambush position.
Well, Onyx could carry Briar up, and they've pushed the boulders off because they're both super strong. While I pepper them with arrows that draws them into the cliff, so they just keep pushing rocks over.
How tall's the cliff
And
that we're
Snow-
talking about above the goblin encampment?
About 30 feet.
Yeah, Briar
I'm
can
rather
fly
small.
down.
I could just climb to your back.
Yeah, you can hold on to my
Yeah, 'cause
back.
she's small.
So
Let's
Azrael,
do that.
I
Let's
like
hit the
backpack
rope.
mode.
Azrael, go up, tie the rope off, so I can get up with Briar on my back. We'll throw the boulder with Snow up there. He'll throw arrows down as we throw the boulder. Briar can fly down. I have my
Yeah,
own ways of getting down.
Dion, the cliff here, is it difficult terrain or slippery, few handholds?
To climb,
Right.
like up to above the goblins.
Right. I'm thinking that it would be, if it's the usual cliff, it's difficult terrain.
It's not even difficult. This is like an actual like difficult climb. It is not.
Oh.
Even with the
terrain.
rope, like what?
I mean,
Technical?
yes.
Tied off?
Basically, a rope is how you would be able to get up and down it.
Because that's when Azrael can climb up surfaces, no problem. Like vertical surfaces, she can climb straight up. So I'm thinking, wouldn't it be best if I'll go up, tie the rope off, and then we can just take the whole party up if we want, and then we can just pelt them from down up above. Because how
You're
are they going to
forgetting-
get up?
You're forgetting about Ted. We need people down here to protect Casimir and Ted.
Well, we can take Casimir with us, and Ted can be like far back. Because
That's
I think it's actually safer if we pull them up above. That way, nobody is in melee with them, and everybody is safe up above. Because if it's hard for us to get up without a rope, they're not going to be able to come and get us. So what are they going to do? Like try to throw stuff at us? We can just hide. We can just push stuff off the edge. I think it's better for everyone to be up top. Much safer.
How far are
I think
these
we're
guys
overthinking this.
from the
Yeah.
like on
Let's
the
do
cliff
that.
to the ground?
You guys start going up. I'll take Ted distance off and hobble him.
I'm down with that.
I'm gonna unsling my rope and hand it to Azrael.
Okay.
Briar, backpack.
McBoone, engage.
Jumping on his back.
How far were these guys from where they're at on the cliff to the ground?
Second.
How far were these guys from where they're at on the cliff to the ground? If they fell to the ground from the cliff, would they actually die, or would they just kind of get hurt and then we'd have to chase them
Over
on
the edge that you guys can see, it's probably about 40 or so feet.
Okay. Yeah, that'd probably do it.
I'd like to note that Briar backpacked up like at an unnecessarily early time, and I'm just holding the Briar backpack.
All right. So, Azrael, you just like walk up the cliff with the rope, and you're gonna tie it off.
Yeah, somewhere that's sturdy that can hold big, heavy kitties.
All right, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check.
Use guidance as well, just because this is important.
Okay. You were
So
able to
21.
tie it off. Find a sturdy spot.
And climb that rope.
All right. I believe with a rope, you guys do not need to give me a athletics check. I think it's just you're able to climb. Let me check.
Going up with the back Briar.
Are we all going up? Was that the final
I think that's the
plan?
safest is for everyone to go
Yeah.
up.
Onyx, I think it's important to tell you that I can climb rope.
It's fine, we're already here.
Okay, this is nice. You're right.
I'm just trying to make up for your being offensive with the goblins. I'll take you up there.
All right. One by one, each of you scales to include Casimir.
And then I want to pull up the rope as well, so the goblins don't try to climb up once everyone's up.
We're still trying to distract these guys as we push the boulders, right?
I think we should be super quiet, and the boulders is what will start the, like, we'll push the boulder. Well, not us, obviously, Briar and Kitty. We'll push the boulders, and that's gonna be the start of the combat.
That's going in the back of my mind.
But I do think everyone should like ready in action. So as soon as the boulders go down, then like we would have like be shooting off. So like we'll be all like set, ready for action, and then as soon as they push the boulders, like the people with arrows or whatever magic missile, whatever, will just immediately as soon as it hits the ground, we'll shoot. That's what I'm thinking would be the best tactics.
Or right as they push it off the edge.
Yeah, something like that. So it's like all in concert of just like. Whoosh.
So are you guys going to be like looking down at them over the edge? Like ready to attack for pushing the boulder?
I think so.
Okay.
I would
All
like
right,
to
hold on. Where is the sun in relation to where we are?
At your
Are
backs.
shadows accurate on here?
Sure.
Okay. If we're going to be shooting at them with arrows and whatnot, people who are going to have to look over the edge need to be off to the sides. We don't want our shadows giving us away.
Send Wanda out to do some aerial tricks so that they're not even like they're focused on a different direction.
All right. Go ahead and give me a performance.
While that's happening, I'm looking for a slightly above reasonable boulder for both Briar and I to pick up.
All right.
Yeah, I want to do like a little test to see if I can actually move these guys before we really commit to this.
Yeah, we're like testing together, like team lifting. the biggest boulder that we can find.
All right, so if you guys want to give me an athletics check, you can either both roll or one of you roll with advantage.
I'm gonna have to roll this mixed check as myself because the familiar doesn't have that option.
A performance check is just a charisma check.
Together
Briar,
or separate?
Hold on.
you pick.
Oh, I do not want to do it
Together.
with the owl. All right, that's fine. She did better. Okay.
What was your roll? So you rolled a 6, and the owl has a -2 to charisma.
Yeah, I did I rolled for the owl, but if you want to keep the first one, then
Yeah, we can just keep the first one just for future reference.
slower.
Yeah, just roll separate, Briar.
All right, you guys find a pretty large rock and are able to kind of rock it between the two of you. You know you'd be able to move it. It will not be quiet. That's one thing you guys will be able to tell. You can move the rock pretty quickly, but it is not quiet.
Should we maybe have our aerial attack and then the boulder?
No, I think the boulder should be first. They're just going to look up and be like, what is that sound up there? And then a rock's going to be incoming, and then you just unleash hell.
Okay.
And rock slides happen, you know. So I feel like this is fine.
As Wanda kind of over the edge and begins kind of like doing little aerial tricks and turns in the air, you hear an echoing voice of one of the goblins. That's an owl. It's not nighttime yet. An owl shouldn't be out yet. Something up with that owl.
Briar, rock.
Rock, aye. And
We
we're
eat
gonna
the
shove
rock.
this bitch.
I want to be over here, ready to go.
Yeah. Can
Okay.
I?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't. I can't move my token.
I can't move my token. There we go.
You hear the goblin stating, "Bring down that owl. I want to see what's going on with it."
While he's yelling about the owl, me and Briar moving the boulder and over the edge.
All right. The two of you, kind of like groaning and rumbling, move the boulder into position and send it barreling over the edge above the ogre. And I need everybody to roll for initiative. I'll be right back.
Initiative.
Make sure you click your tokens.
Definitely didn't. How do we fix it?
Oof. You can't at this point unless you rolled again. Damn. I suck today.
It doesn't even look like it's registered that I rolled initiative, so can I just do it again? I don't see what I've rolled. Okay. It is even registering that I rolled it, so cool. I'm just gonna try again. Boop. Okay.
All right. As the rock goes tumbling over the side, you hear the lead goblin shout, "We're under attack! Everyone get up!" And Javid, it is your turn. The rock plummets down and kind of like strikes off the ogre's shoulder as he like shifts out of the way a little bit, and it slams into the way. He lets out a deep groan.
All
So
right. I fire
It
it
should
at
victory only hit the ogre.
Yeah, it like bounced off of him basically.
So did it look like it didn't do any damage to the ogre?
It hit him. He let out a sound like he's hurt.
Okay.
But he's tough. He's very tough.
aiming at the ogre. And I also want to cast Favored Foe on him. Or not cast, whatever it is.
Okay.
Oh, let's see, that's when I hit.
Well, that hit.
Yeah.
Striking
They
him
know
in the...
ogres could have no.
Oop. That's fine. Alright, so 10 damage to the ogre.
Need some battle music. The Spotify right now isn't really battle.
Hold on.
It's eloquent. This is a concert.
Let's see, I'm also going to do my Basher second attack.
That also hit. And that's force damage, I believe, correct? For the second attack.
No, second is regular attack. It's just an attack.
Okay. So deal any extra damage?
Favored Foe is not correct. That one doesn't count. I'm trying to...
Wait, this is your first attack. I'm trying to think. You get multiple attacks, right?
Right, so 2 attack, and D&D Beyond is around with my character sheet, so give me a sec. There we go. That's the Dread Ambusher. So a whole 1 extra damage there. That's
You
it.
should get a D8 if the second attack hits, right?
That was the D8.
Yeah. So
Oh, that was a D8. Okay.
And that is my turn.
Alright, the 2 arrows and the boulder strike the ogre. He just kind of like lets out this groan. They're attacking me! Alright. Ezreal, it's your turn.
I'm gonna cast Corruption, aka Toll the Dead. Oh, that should be a D12 actually, because the ogre is injured. Where's my D12? There we go. So it's actually 10 damage.
It's a whiz save, correct?
Yes, 14. Here, let me display it. There you go.
He does not seem affected.
Damn.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's all I got. Actually, can I scoot back a little bit so they can't quite see me?
Sure.
Alright, I'll do that.
Briar, it's your turn.
kind of like these new noises, I'd like to say.
Yeah, I have to say this is an upgrade. Quite nice.
Yeah, I really like that. So, are there any more large rocks around me?
There are a few, not quite the size that you and Onyx pushed, but there's like some smaller, like I don't know, football-sized ones that you could just huck.
I pick up 2 and toss them.
Sure.
Actually, I'm gonna javelin. Fuck this. I'm just gonna javelin them a couple times. Get closer. 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. 4, 5, 6. Okay. Then I'm gonna javelin the big guy. Let's see. Can I do 2 javelins?
You can only do one.
Ah, okay.
5th level you could do 2, I believe.
Okay.
Are you raging?
No, not yet.
Okay. Alright. The javelin sticks into the ogre's shoulder. He lets out another groan. And, boss, they're hurting me.
I feel bad about this now. Oh, dang. Okay.
Can we see who he's talking to?
No. I mean, you would probably be able to tell that he's talking to one of the goblins.
Boss. Ah. Okay. Guys, he's working for them. Ah. No.
Alright,
Some Goblin Civil War stuff going on.
Dimitari, it is your turn.
Alright, I am going to cast Magic Missile, and it's going to be on the 3 goblins that are closest to the ogre.
Okay.
A 1 for each. Basically seeing if anyone reacts to the boss getting injured.
Alright, the magic missile just like shoots down at them, striking the 3 goblins. All of them are just kind of like, punched in the chest, basically. The one in the middle kind of lets out a groan, but he doesn't seem quite as effective. As well, he is wearing chainmail. The rest of them are just wearing leather armor. The one.
Keep this ogre alive and kill the rest. Maybe we can ask him some questions.
Alright. The goblin is going back. Actually, he's going to move it right there. And he's going to produce a javelin. And then he's going to huck it up at. They're attacking us from above. I knew we should have cleared our tracks. Make sure you take them out with ranged weapons and flank the cliff. And alright. The javelin flies up towards you, Briar, and sticks you in the chest for 5 piercing damage. Alright. Onyx.
Alright, I step up to the edge to where I can see him. Oop, that's like falling off the edge. Alright. My necklace, that's normally translucent, grows bright purple. 2 beams of electricity shoot out, one towards the boss goblin and one towards the ogre, and I'm casting Witch Bolt on both of them.
Is that an attack roll on your part?
It is attack roll on my part.
Alright. The goblin that you are targeting, seeing the electricity arc towards him, reaches behind him, grabs the other goblin, and puts him in front of him. And the bolt of electricity towards. And the two of them have swapped place. What was your? So the attack roll against the goblin actually does not hit. He kind of puts him in place, and the other one's like, ah! Raises his shield, and it strikes the shield with this blast of energy. But the second one does hit the ogre, so go ahead and roll damage.
And I'm maintaining concentration on Witch Bolt.
Alright. The arc of energy passes between you and the ogre. The ogre is going to pull out a javelin and whip it towards you. That is a nat 20. How many hit points you got?
2-0.
You take 26 points of piercing damage as the javelin just strikes you in the chest and just takes you right off your feet.
And I'm down.
Good thing you didn't have any character art made.
I'm gonna scream, no!
And with that, the ogre is going. He is actually going to kind of shimmy himself against the wall, so you guys have to get closer to the edge in order to see him. He shouts, "I got one, boss!" Alright, Snow, it's your turn.
Alright, who hit Onyx with the javelin? Was it the ogre?
It was the ogre.
Okay, I'm gonna do insightful fighting against him. And he has to... This is against his deception.
He rolled a modified 1. No, never mind, a 12. I don't know. He's rolling 2 die, even when I'm not rolling with advantage, so I don't understand what it's doing. He rolled a 12. He still loses.
Okay. Never mind.
You add to your attack roll, though, right?
Yeah, it's that I can add my sneak attack against target even if it don't have advantage on the attack roll.
Okay, it doesn't give you any bonuses to the attack.
No, so if I don't move, then I can use steady aim.
Gotcha. I mean, you can use steady aim if you'd like.
Alright.
Are you
I wasn't
moving?
sure. Well, no, I'm not going to move, but I wasn't sure if it had to be round 2 type deal.
Did you move this round?
No.
There you go.
Does a 19 hit?
Yep.
$14 damage.
Your arrow sticks out of the ogre's chest. Even with his half cover from kind of pressing himself against the wall, it's not enough. Is that the end of your turn? I guess you can't really move, so.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright. The goblins. All move over, kind of surrounding their boss, and they are going to draw their short bows and then start launching arrows towards you. They're going to attack Briar. Well, they did not roll very well. One of them rolls a nat 20, and you would take 9 piercing damage. But the other 3 just pass over your head, just flying off into the distance. And that is the end of the goblins. Javid, it is your turn.
All right.
So I'm going to say you would not really be able to see their group from where you are currently.
They would have some amount of, I assume.
Yeah, you can't, you don't, they have total cover from your current position. The rest of you guys have kind of like arrayed in a semicircle around their little alcove, so you can kind of see them. But Javid, from where you are, you're just a little too far away.
I move further down the cliff in this direction to our right on the screen to see them, or would I need to get up to snow?
You would probably need to be able to get closer. It's kind of, because like this, that rock right there is like blocking your view of them.
Got it. All right.
So if you just jump over to where snow is, you'd be able to get them.
Yeah, I will jump over to where snow. If I can do it without running into a wall. I see them from there.
Yeah, it depends on which ones you're attacking. I'll allow it. The ogre does have half cover from you.
And the rest of the goblins?
I will say that the 2 closest to you have 3/4 cover, and then the rest of them are exposed.
All right. Well, I want to fire at one of the exposed ones.
All right. Sounds good. That does not hit. The goblin draws up its shield in front of it, and it sticks into the wood.
And I will step back to give myself as much cover as I can while still being able to see the scene below.
Sure. Azrael, it's your turn.
Alright. Can I clearly see Onyx from where I am?
Yeah, you would have seen him just get like nailed in the chest, you know, like Frodo style, and he's down.
Alright, so I'm gonna cast Roots of Benevi Key, or Healing Word, as it's otherwise known. Basically be like, get up! Take cover! And he gets 8 points of healing, so he's back.
I had pictured the soldier on the wall in the north getting shot by the giant's arrow, right? Because blasting up.
Yeah, basically, just like.
Okay, and then from here, can I see the boss goblin, or does he have cover?
He has, probably from you, at least, he's 3/4 cover from the ogre.
Alright, what about the ogre? Is he a
You
clear
can see
shot?
the ogre. Yeah, he's got half cover just because of where he's positioned himself, but.
Alright, I'm gonna do Toll the Dead.
Toll the Dead would skip cover, so.
Alright, so I'm gonna go with the goblin. Actually, now that I think about it.
Which one?
So that's
The main guy?
the main boss goblin, and that's a DC 14. Okay. And if he doesn't save, he gets 7 hit points, or 7 points of damage.
He does not save.
And then I'm gonna move back to where I was so they can't see me. Huh?
Yeah, he has taken.
Yeah, he's taking damage, right? I thought. Has he not?
He has.
Okay. Alright, and then I'm gonna back and hide so they can't see me. And that's the end of my turn.
You see him like grasp at his head, and he just kind of like quickly is like, "One of you needs to report back to the master." All right, Briar, it's your turn.
All right, so seeing my buddy, who just so generously carried me up the mountain, knocked all the way down, fucking pissed, on a rage. Let's see. You can turn it off, baby. It's fine. Sorry, I'm looking for the rage thing again. Here it is. Oh, it's already on. Ha, sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna... Which one's the boss one?
As far as you can tell, is the one in the middle of all the other goblins.
Okay. How far away? Like, how far down is the cliff?
It's 30 feet to the bottom.
Ah, okay. That's my whole movement. I'm gonna aim for him. Throw a javelin.
Okay.
I'm gonna rip the one out of my chest. And use this one.
Your javelin whips towards him, and he just kind of like positions this shield in front of you, and it sticks into the wood, and he just yanks it out, looking up at you. Gives you this, like, glare.
I'm gonna... Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna come this way so I can just get a better eye on some of them. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Alright. Timatari, it's your turn.
I am going. Wait, can I see this guy?
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna cast Ice Knife.
Flat hit. Is that...
Alright.
That was
So
ice
it's 1d10 on the target, and then each creature within 5 feet, including the target, has to make a dex save of 15 or take d6 cold damage.
Okay, go ahead and roll the damage. Alright. Is it half on a save? No, it doesn't look like it. The ice knife like sticks into the goblin's chest. He's and then this like shower of shards sprays the other, the rest of them.
It's into my turn.
Two of the goblins collapse on the ground with like shards of ice just like peppering their torso. The leader and the other goblin that was next to him are just kind of like pretty injured. Alright. The leader begins running, and he like slings the shield over his back, and he's just like hoofing it down the path. Onyx, it's your turn. You've like taken a deep breath, awoken. You are just like on your back on the ground, pretty injured, but some of your wounds have begun to kind of knit themselves back together with the magic.
I do that like ninja backflip thing where I just kind of like flip up off my back. Would it be a free action to pull the javelin out of my chest?
I'll say the javelin fell away. It wasn't going to stay in you.
Alright, so is it a free action to pick it up?
Sure, yeah. It's like
Alright,
lying
so
next to you.
pick up the javelin, I yell, I cast magic missile at 2nd level using Quicken Spell. So that's 2 darts going to the leader that's running away and 2 darts going to the other 2 goblins.
Okay.
And then as my action, I throw the javelin at the ogre.
Alright. Go ahead and roll for the javelin.
Strength or dex? I am not proficient with javelins.
Javelins are strength, I thought.
It's a ranged attack. It's debatable. It's whatever the DM wants.
It is not, actually.
Most range takes dex.
Yeah, I thought javelins were like the one that used strength. That's why like barbarians and other strength-based character uses them. But you can just add it to your character sheet, and it should like auto-calculate it.
It would be a deck. That hit.
What's a javelin? D6 or D10?
It is 1d6.
+2 is my dex, so 5.
You return the javelin to the ogre. It sinks into his shoulder. Your magic missiles strike their target, and you see two of the goblins, including the leader, who, as he was running away, both fall into the dirt. The last remaining is bleeding profusely.
And then I step back 15.
All right.
That's the end of my turn.
The ogre, as he's kind of like running towards the down the path, kind of turns to his left, and he's gonna huck a javelin towards Snow.
What did I do to him?
And you're the closest guy he can see. What's your AC?
15.
All right, he hits you for 13 piercing damage.
God damn.
He gets all the way to there. Snow, it's your turn. You just got, like, caught an ogre chucked javelin to the gut.
Oh, hell no. $23 to hit the ogre.
Yeah, that probably hits.
$20 damage.
You catch him, like, right between the shoulder blades. You see the arrow, like, sinks in deep. He is still alive, but just barely. Is that the
That's it. It is.
Alright. That's not right. What's
Is he jumping?
the last guy? You see
Commit
him.
suicide.
He runs towards the edge and then leaps into the. And you watch him just go flow down the fall.
He is going to commit suicide.
Allegedly.
Javid, it's your turn.
All right. Well, my favored foe is still standing. I'm going to fire at him.
Don't we need to interrogate at least one of these guys?
Well, I wanted to, but the one that I was hoping we might be able to interrogate has jumped into the river and gone, so... tough.
And he's a little too big.
That hit. How do you want to do that?
Potentially question.
So, seeing him heading off toward the road to try to make his escape, I turned fire and arrow, intending to lodge it right next to the arrow that Snow sank, right in that tender spot between the shoulder blades. I'd like to see him catch the arrow, stumble, and pitch headlong into the ravine.
All right. As he's like approaching the like flowing gorge, you launch the arrow, and it sticks him in the back right as he's like getting ready to leap over it, and he like kind of jumps because he had the momentum, and he slams on the other side, falls back into the river, and then just down over the falls.
And the other goblin that jumped in the river is out of sight now, right?
He is gone.
completely gone. There's like no way.
As far
Are
as
we
you
out of
guys can
initiative?
tell from up here, we are at initiative. You guys see no sign of it.
Can
I
I run down the wall and run over to the edge and just see if I can see the goblin?
I sprint up, hop on Briar's back, and tell her, fly the river.
My back is where my wings are. I don't know if it's a good idea.
I'll hang on to your legs. I don't care.
Okay. I'm gonna try to do that.
Grab onto her legs, just dangle below.
Yeah, I'm just gonna climb down the cliff. Is like just kind of try to stay with them, but like just walking down the cliff to see if I can like find him as well.
Fly as fast as you can.
Doing a
Can
strength check.
I have the owl see the direction that he is going? But before I send her, I'm giving.
You cut out. We can't hear you.
That I am basically going to give Wanda 25 feet of rope to hold and send her out to kind of see what direction he. And then once she's figured that out, I will do this. Let me like to transfer through her so that she can a snare. I cast a spell with a range of touch. The familiar can deliver the spell as if it had cast it. But I have to be within 100 feet. That's not gonna happen if I'm too far.
I mean, you can try. You can try to come down.
I mean, I'll try. I don't know like how fast he's going and like how long it take me. So I guess it's all up to DM.
Because the rope is still tied off. I just pulled it up. So for those who can't, they could just walk over and throw the rope down if they wanted to be able
That
to climb
takes
down.
a minute to cast, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it does take a minute. So I guess it kind of just depends on like how fast he's moving and far ahead. That'll work, but
I'm hanging off Briar's legs as she's full tilt sprinting down the river. Do I see the goblin?
Yeah.
Well, first, do I need a strength check for this?
Sure, give me a strength check. Athletic.
Okay. We're going down the river.
I don't even need you to descend. I need you to fly straight out so I can see him. Like, get the most lateral movement that you can.
Okay.
Do I see him?
Go and give me a perception check.
good, huh?
All right. So as you guys are flying out there, Azrael, as you like run over to the edge and are looking to.
I'm like walking down the edge.
Okay.
And looking.
As you guys are flying out there and kind of like tracking the goblin down, you guys can see washed up on the shore of this like shallow little river, maybe like 50 yards from the bottom, is the goblin just kind of like collapsed.
I'm gonna drop off Briar and free fall. Like, towards it. And when I get like 15 or so feet from him, I'm going to cast Magic Missile using Tempestuous Magic to fly 10 feet to arrest my momentum. And all 3 Magic Missile bolts are going into his body.
No, don't kill him! Don't kill him!
Too late.
Well,
Don't
here's
say it.
what I would have
Thought you
done.
weren't that smart.
So if you guys want to have a conversation, because what I would have done is, as soon as I saw him, I would have done some parkour stuff, and I would have literally tackled him to try to put the manacles on him. So there's a good chance those magic missiles might have hit me rather than the thing.
You can get there faster than magic and a free falling Leonin.
Well, so I was going down the cliff, right? So I can walk climbing 35 feet. That's one round plus my action, so that's 70 feet per round. I can just straight walk, no hesitation.
DM?
Then I'm just saying, this is what she would have done. Is she would have been, as soon as like, she would have gone after him, just straight vaulting, climbing down the cliffs. And as soon as she saw him, she would have tackled him.
Azrael, go ahead and give an acrobatics check.
Okay. Anox,
So-
were you not present when we agreed to keep the dude alive so that we could question him? Or were
Your
you like
perception
leaving?
check
I don't remember
Interrogation, please.
any discussion about
pretty
keeping
much.
any of them alive.
So I'm gonna say that Azrael is able to get there first because Onyx, your perception check is so low that you don't even see the goblin until she gets to it.
Alright, fair.
She got to the edge. Azrael, as you get to the edge, the other two, Briar and Onyx, are flying overhead at this little helicopter search party for them. Everyone else hears the wings heading over the horizon. And Azrael gets to the edge, and you just eagle eye spot the goblin. He's kind of tucked up against a rock, and just leap down the side. You're running, vertically down the cliff face. And as soon as she gets there, Onyx, you're about to do your thing, but you see that Azrael gets to the goblin first.
You can still shoot magic missiles if you want. I'm just saying, I'm literally on top of him.
I would kill him. It's fine. Anything I can see, it's not a roll to hit. I just automatically hit anything I want to kill with it.
Surely she would see them first and would be able to in the way of them.
Yeah, I don't quite understand how that would work, because you're right, it is an auto target, so it's not like you're hitting, but she's
All right.
laying on top of him trying to put manacles on him.
I got it.
All right, Azrael, you're able to manacle his hands and get him. He does not appear to be conscious. What are you guys doing now?
Javid's going to
I'm gonna go untie my rope.
drop the rope down, climb down to the path, and go fetch Ted, who he took up the path a ways and had hobbled.
Where you hobbled Ted was next
Javid,
to
as
the
you
bush.
go down. Javid, as you go down, I'm gonna say, send Briar up to get me. I'm gonna get my rope back. I'm gonna go untie my rope.
All right, you're able to untie the rope. At this point, Briar and Onyx, you guys are kind of passing overhead, and you can see that Azrael has control of the goblin. As you guys are watching, you can see face down the ogre floating down the river, arrows peppering his back. He's got javelins sticking out of it. He is very dead.
I'm gonna yell up. Should we see if he's got anything?
We should get our arrows and javelin back.
Yeah, we should do that.
Briar, to the ogre!
I feel so bad for her being everyone's private jet right now.
I feel important. It's fine.
All right, you
You
guys
got
are
to fly. You're going to be asked to fly.
going over to the ogre. You guys are able to get 2 arrows and a javelin back. The ogre does not appear to have any other things in his possession.
No shiny rocks.
Negative.
Just
Good thing
so we're
Trillia-
clear, Was the
ahead.
goblin that was captured the leader or one of his, like...
No, the leader we killed.
Yeah, it was one of the underlings.
So we need to look for arrows and then see what we can find of interest on the bodies, especially the leader. Maybe he's got a note on him or instructions from the master.
Once the owl... Oh, go ahead.
He has a small stone with glyphs carved into. But I am like, I will check to make sure that whether or not any of you guys can read this.
I read Giant and Leonin.
I read Draconic and Dwarvish. And Thieves' Cant.
Draconic, Dwarvish, Elvish, Undercommon, and Thieves' Cant.
In addition, I've got Marquesian and Sylvan.
Just got Korai.
All right.
Also, I'm gonna stabilize the goblin with my healer's kit just to make sure he don't bleed out dead.
Okay. Is that a roll?
No, it's just a standard. It has like 10 things.
use
I've
the
already
charge.
used one. I'll use one of the other charges.
All right. You're able to stabilize him. You can see he's got, he's got some injuries, especially from his tumble over the falls, but he is alive now. The rest of you are able to kind of like search through their stuff. You're able to collect some short bows, a few crude kind of goblin arrows, about 10 of those, and then 3 javelins from them.
Can I strip the chainmail off of the leader?
Sure. It is goblin sized, though.
That's fine. I'm gonna walk up to Dimitari. Hey, do you have that thing where you can just make it clean?
Yeah. Are you wanting me to clean that? As I point to the chainmail?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it out with it like reeking of goblin. Could you make this clean?
It's bloody and, covered in filth.
Yeah. I'll do that real quick.
At this point, kind of coming around the corner, Javid, Casimir, and Ted coming this way. You see Ted's gotten a big, branch off of a bush, and he's just, munching.
I'll find something tasty for Pony out of my rations and give him a treat for being such a good boy.
All right. He accepts graciously. Casimir is kind of watching you guys. At this point, all of you have kind of gotten back to the cliffside where you fought the battle, where the goblins and the others were. Just kind of, did we learn anything interesting from them?
Yeah, that Javid has no idea about goblin tactics, and that he thinks they should always have a pass.
Didn't say that. I said, unless they prove to be hostile. These might have been the good goblins. They might be bad, you can never tell. They could have been hostages, we don't know.
I guess you're right. As I pick up one and yeet him off the cliff.
He just goes tumbling over the side.
And somebody found a rock. Have you asked Casimir if he can identify it?
I was just going to do some other stuff first. I figured I would let you all rummage through their things first.
So there was a rummaging and somebody found something. Perhaps you can read it?
He kind of looks at it for a second. No, sorry. Don't know what that is.
What other stuff do you have to do now?
I was just going to make sure we were still in the right spot, I suppose. This was kind of a bit of an unexpected interaction, just kind of threw me off a little bit.
Well, this seems like a
I
solid
tell
spot to
people-
make camp. You know, even if we go up the rock again.
Yeah, I think up the rock or up rock. Good campsite.
And the
Can you tell if Casimir was lying at all? Seeing
Go ahead.
anything?
Go ahead and give me an insight. Seems truthful.
The ogre was munching on a human corpse. Are there other human corpses present?
Not that you can see. The remains of the corpse are present. It's just legs at this point. But it does appear to be similar in garb to some of the other drug smugglers that you had run into previously.
So by the look of it, we've found out what happened to the rest of their party.
Probably would be a safe assumption. Would anyone else like to look at the rock?
Yeah, I want to cast detect
take a look at
magic
the
as a ritual, if I can. So it'd take like 11 minutes, but I kind of just want to sit with it like in front of me, and I'm like cross-legged, and I'm gonna cast detect magic.
I
While
don't have to
Israel's
do that. I can
doing
just look
that,
at it.
does it look like anything to me?
I'll say you can make an Arcana check with advantage. Well, hold
Yeah,
on.
Well,
Briar also said her thing.
What was Briar?
yeah. I don't have to do. I just have magic awareness.
It is magical.
Just I gotta look at it.
You can tell that it is magical. In a kind of latent way.
Says you learn what school of magic it belongs to, too. If it
It
like a
is
spell or something.
psionics.
Yeah. I personally don't know what that is. What would my character know what that is?
That's like brain magic.
Well, as far as
Guys, this
magics
is
go,
like-
I think either me or Demetari would have the best luck with this.
I'm gonna tell everybody, hey, this looks like some kind of like brain magic. I don't know, man.
Javid. Actually, let me check something. Javid, you would be able to tell that this is a type of glyph that you have seen before in the Underdark. What it says, what the language is exactly, you are not familiar with. It is just a little bit, it is very uncommon and it's not something you've seen before.
When I look at it, can I see if it's undercommon?
It is not undercommon. In fact, the glyphs do not really... It looks like writing, but it is very unclear on what it is. It's like a little block of just text, basically. If you would like to try to read, you can give me an intelligence check.
Anyone specifically, or everybody?
Anyone who wants to hold it and then attempt to read it. You have to like focus your mind on reading it.
Try for that.
Yeah, since
Well,
I've
can I go first?
seen these glyphs, I'd like to try. You said straight int?
It is, yep, just an intelligence check.
I like that Briar rolls a 50.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a save, it is a check.
Yeah, I accidentally did
Oh,
the
that
wrong
was
one.
a save.
That's okay. I see what your rolls are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same as the save.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same for. All right. Each one of you, as you attempt to read it, it just like gives you this like splitting migraine almost, and you are not able to learn anything that it says.
Do you mind if I try?
As like you've seen everyone else at the party like hold on to it, focus for a second, and then they're just like grabbing their like touching their sinuses basically as they're, you know, dying.
Right.
I'm gonna hold out my hand for it.
So, Onyx, really, this is for requires some brain matter.
I'm not unintelligent.
Teasing.
I snatch it and I spend a short rest with it while everybody else sets up camp.
Okay. Are you making the intelligence check to try to read?
Yeah.
All right. No way. All right. Well, at this point, the DC was 18.
The dumb
Oh, yeah.
one! I have a -1 to intelligence.
You got the closest.
Yeah, so does Briar. I find it interesting that the ones with the negative modifier are the ones that were successful.
All right.
Maybe we were just way too focused on it, and they just like took it a step
Brain
back and was
muscles are
able to.
strong.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's the lack of intelligence that got past the sonic barrier.
We will take a real break here for a couple minutes, probably about 10 or so, and then we'll hop back into it.
Hell yeah, with Onyx reading the smart people thing.
Yeah.
compounds, compounds or other modern
right.
flows.
Right, so you're talking
Okay.
more recurve. And
Recurves are okay. Horse bows are okay. Longbows are okay.
composite construction or wood construction mainly.
I've got a fiberglass bow, but it's painted to look like wood.
Okay, so it just has to look, period, correct for the
Correct.
most part.
Correct.
Okay, because if we come, I'm wanting to do the whole archer thing.
All right, everybody back.
Everyone has to.
Yep.
All right, so we do the break time thing now. Just because it's easier to track that way.
Everyone's got to push on back in Foundry.
Yeah, you click on back. So I know you're back.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I feel like I'm the head of a evil organization with a shadow effect going on.
You are. All right.
I
hell
do
is
work
the
for the
Watcher?
federal government.
What was the guy from X-Files, the cigarette man? What was his name? The character?
I haven't watched that show in so long.
Give me like 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Oh
It
my
was called
god.
the cigarette smoking.
Marlboro Man.
He's not back. He clicked it, but he's not back.
It was a
Liars.
lie. It was a lie. All right. Well, the rest of you
Call for an insight check. Is he
getting
lying?
your ropes and other things, climbing your way up onto the cliff above, the sun disappearing further below this horizon, the kind of like orange and like dark purple tendrils, and the sky beginning to turn to night. As you all set your
Are we
camp.
going to try to hoist Ted up, or are we going to set him to hobble again out in some little grassy patch?
Nah, we got him. Let's do this.
All right.
It's gonna be awful if we drop him, though.
Go ahead and give me an athletics check if you would like to carry Ted.
Right. I think we
Wait,
would
how much does
use
he weigh?
ropes and stuff like that. So, at least a couple of people on either rope.
Okay, that's fair. Like a pulley system here.
He weighs 1,000 pounds.
Oof.
He's a small horse.
Do we have this capability?
I'm sure we could get a couple of ropes if, like,
Oh yeah,
And-
we got plenty of ropes. Ropes is not the problem.
Snow, you
the-
look
the-
like
the
that guy.
pulley
Like those
system.
guys. Oh, hang on, go ahead. I was gonna say, Snow, you look like those guys, like in the documentaries who want to remain anonymous, who use like the weird voice filter.
Does Discord have that?
I don't know. That's what you look like, though.
All right. Go ahead and give me an athletics check if you guys are using some ropes and other setups to pull Ted up.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Well, there you go. You are easily able to just yank Ted up the side of the cliff. You like pulling him up, like ropes tied around him. He's just like munching on a couple of leaves from a bush he found earlier as you just pull him up the side of the cliff and set him down. Just kind of looks around a little bit.
Oh, I am upset that I missed that.
oh, you
But,
definitely helped.
Knox, what did you see on the stone? You were the only one who didn't get whammied.
As this is all happening, Onyx is just like focusing intently on the stone. Gets himself up on the cliffside with the rest of you. And you suddenly see, like with fits and starts, images and sensations in your head. The first one you picture is you leaving a cave. It's darkness into light, almost blinding. Then another like blink. You find yourself and another group kind of like walking along the cliffside. Another blink fits and starts. You are engaged in combat with a group of other creatures, wrestling them to the ground and dragging them back. That is the information you're able to get out of the stone.
Can I make heads or tails of what that is?
You make... What you would be able to tell is that whatever magic was used to create the stone, it was not meant for you. And you only got a tiny piece of it, and you would have to try again, basically.
So I know as a player, I understand that this is like recorded memories, but like, do I as Onyx understand that this is like anything? Is it just visions that I see in my head? Is it tied to anything? Do I feel like my party of creatures was the goblins?
Yeah, does he see it as himself, or could it be someone else whose eyes he's seeing through?
You see it as yourself.
Okay, so I don't make heads or tails of anything. Like, it's just me doing things, wrestling creatures to the ground and dragging them back to the dark place that I came out of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Look at the stone. Now look at Javid. And I hand it back to him, and I say, I don't know what this means. I feel like I was part of a group that took people back to a cave. But that's it. That's all I got.
So you saw something.
I mean, it almost seemed like my own memories, but they're not true memories to me.
Not memories of something that you have actually done. Is it foreseeing? Something you have yet to do?
Does it feel like foreshadowing, or does it feel like past? Like, what feeling did I get from it?
It feels like instructions.
I don't feel like it was either past, future, nor present. I feel like it's what I should do. I don't know. I told you I wasn't stupid.
Well, Casimir, does this sound like anything you've come across in your studies?
I'm afraid in my very specific time, I never studied anything quite like this. It is terribly interesting, and I would love to take it back to the Institute with me.
I mean, so I know this is like a little bit outside, but would Onyx have any information on like mind links, like anything to do with like mind spirits, people who deal with like embedding psionic instructions or anything like that?
You could make an Arcana check.
And did it feel as though something was communicating with you?
It just feels like something I should do. It feels like something I need to be doing. Like I should be bringing beings back to this cave, whoever that may be. I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't get much more out of that.
Unfortunately, you are not familiar with any creatures that transmit thoughts or instructions via these kinds of messages.
I don't know. It's weird. It's like, I don't know if you know of anything, but there's nothing that speaks out to me that could even embed these sort of feelings. I don't.
This is nothing I'm familiar with. But I'm getting a sense that this was created or perhaps imbued with something by someone who is a vast intelligence who we may yet come across. We must be aware of the danger we are likely to face in the Underdark against someone who can put thoughts in our minds and control us in that way.
I don't know, that seems like more like Demetari's shtick. I'm surprised that she didn't get anything out of this. She's more the learned one.
And Demetari, does this mean anything to you? Ring any bells? Anything in your experience suggest anything further that this stone might signify?
Hear me?
Here we go. Yep. Now.
Awesome. So from what he's explained, the only way I can really relate is, sometimes Korai spirit will speak to names, and they often come back as memories. Possibly Onyx can show me what he did, and I can study it for a while and see if that changes anything.
Sure.
Kind of knowing what this could do now.
I would say that you could make, now that you guys have kind of gotten a little bit better understanding of it and sort of how it operates, at this point, I assume you guys are kind of starting to set down for a long rest. You've made a little campsite. If you would like to, you could go ahead and make an intelligence check, and I will let you do it with advantage.
Oh, did that do disadvantage?
I only see a nat
straight
one.
roll.
Yeah, that was just a straight roll. Just roll again.
Right.
Much better.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Not mad.
You focus your thoughts into it, and you realize that these are very specific instructions demanding that you, the reader of the stone, exit a cave system and begin bringing people back to it. For a brief moment in your head, for half a second, you can see the individual crafting the stone, and with a flicker of light, it is this like long face with strange fingers in the form of a beard. And it disappears.
No!
Wait, so there were strange fingers and a beard, or the finger? Oh,
The fingers are the beard, correct?
Yeah, something like that.
Do I recognize this? Because it seems like everyone else does.
Make an nature check.
Right.
So you wanted this campaign to last 5 sessions?
You recognize it instantly. It is the extra-dimensional horror known as an Illithid. A creature that haunts the nightmares of beings all across the material plane.
Alright, that's it. I'm done. Bye, y'all.
Did you spell Illithid?
Known to many as mind flayers.
Oh, I got that.
quick question. Have you played Baldur's Gate 3 yet?
Nope.
Okay.
Alright. I just kind of wish I hadn't studied this. I got the same instructions as a Nox. Surprise there. But the guy that wants this to happen is a Mind Flayer.
Do you get a sense from reading the stone that the mind flayer can now identify you and see what you're seeing and things like that? Have you opened up some kind of channel with this thing that it can now tell who we are and what we have in mind?
Very good question.
That's my question to you.
Oh, I know. I
Not,
know
not
that?
that you can see. Not that you can.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, this is just a rock that someone must be reminded of what tasks they need to do if they're more simple-minded, right? And maybe they'll forget along the way.
Can I do a medicine check on both Demetari and Onyx to see if they are affected by this? Like, does it seem like something has changed about them in some way?
I feel like at this point, Onyx would be aggressively sparring with his longsword with Briar.
Okay, how about just Demetari?
Sure, go ahead and make a medicine check.
Like,
Yeah, while he's swinging his sword around, you can reach out and try to touch his head.
as long as Briar's down with that.
Yeah.
I recognize, like, the external part of the cave. That part of the...
It seems like it is just kind of a general instruction. It is not telling you like where to go exactly. It's just telling you you have to leave the cave and locate creatures and return them to the cave.
I'm assuming I'm a little bit better at sparring than this guy, so I'm gonna casually look back and be like, who do we find this on again?
This was the goblin boss.
Ah, okay.
While she's distracted, I'm going in. Like, I'm going hard. I'm doing everything I can.
Go ahead and give me some. I guess you guys could make weapon checks to see who's dueling better.
You want one or two?
Let's do one for now. Azrael, as far as you can tell, Demetari is unaffected by the stone. This time she doesn't have a headache, so seems like she's better in that regard.
I would do weapon checks, just like the regular hit dice, or what?
Yeah, just roll to attack.
Okay.
I think at this point, I would like to attempt to destroy the stone. In case it kind of, like, could it have a tracker on it?
Well, that was my concern. Yes, that it would know where you are, and that it was some kind of two-way sending. It may already know that we've taken this off of the goblin.
I guess worst case, if we don't want to destroy it, just leave it behind. I feel like we've gotten need to out of it, and if it repeated the same instruction for both me and Max, then I don't see why it would change.
Do we have some way to mask it?
Just throw it in the river. We don't need it.
Lead foil. I don't know that we are done with it. Perhaps as we study it, perhaps someone can become attuned to it and communicate with the mind flare. It's a terrifying thought, of course, but a piece of magic as powerful as this, I'd like us to try to at least see if there's a way for us to put it to our advantage.
Knowing what that guy was, because I'm not really good with D stuff like D&D lore, would I really know what a mind flayer is about? His goal is, like, how dangerous they are?
Probably heard of them. They are near mythical for most people. And yes, they are incredibly dangerous. Pretty terrifying.
I don't know, like,
they
what
eat
their
brains,
end goal would be.
And their end goal is to take over the world. Essentially.
The hive mind.
They want all other creatures to join with them.
Don't they reproduce by turning other creatures into mind flayers?
Yes, that would be a piece of information based on your very high nature check. You would know that they reproduce by taking little like tadpole creatures, and then the tadpole burrows into your body and then converts you into a mind flayer.
It's disgusting. A mortician.
The Borg. All right.
Yeah.
Do I take any damage from Briar while we're sparring?
I think you guys, based on a 7 and a 10, you guys are pulling your punches. You know, you're not really hitting each other.
I feel like Briar is actually trying not to hurt Onyx, and Onyx is going like full bore.
Right? Yeah, she's saying, this guy just about died earlier today. I'm not going to whack him any harder than have to.
Yeah, you nearly died like, 40 minutes ago.
Alright, well, after our sparring session, I would like to settle down by the campfire, pull out my drum, and start softly playing melodies that I can remember. Simple, basic, like kind of barbaric tunes. And inside of the campfire, there are images of Leonin running on all fours, chasing different prey. And different like gatherings of Leonin that are kind of celebrating and dancing around different fires and stuff as I'm playing my drums through.
Do we have any bones left over from the giant hawk? I'd love to have a long straight bone that I could try to carve into a flute.
Only really kept a feather.
We didn't keep some meat on a leg bone or something.
I don't think so.
Didn't get a whole lot.
Ooh. Briar, can you go get a leg bone from the ogre?
I thought it floated
I
down the
suppose.
river and is like way gone at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
he's
sure it's lodged on a rock somewhere.
pretty heavy. If he's down at the bottom of the falls, maybe.
I don't know what state his bones would be in if he was like bouncing around on rocks.
Alright, just a thought.
Ogres are tough. He's not going to break a bone just from bouncing down the river a little bit.
I guess I could look, but I gotta take the turret with me. I ain't gonna be like dissecting shit.
Well, it's all he's asking for is one little old leg bone.
It's
Femur.
common here. Do you guys often like harvest like this, not just to eat? Jesus.
Oh yeah, when you're on the road like this, whatever you got to do, got to take. Can't wait to get back to town and maybe buy something from the shops that's all nice and it's got all the meat cleaned off of it.
Baked goods.
Ooh, DM, can I use control flames to modify the colors of the flames to give like more of a texture to the images that I'm creating?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so basically what I'm like getting at is while I'm creating these images in the flames, it's almost like old school first version color TV type stuff.
Beautiful images of Leonin and other creatures running across the savannah. Play across the fire.
Has it been more than an hour? Like, has the goblin woke up yet?
It has been about an hour.
All right.
The goblin
I'm
kind of
gonna
stirs
start
himself. Oh, What are you doing with me?
We have questions.
What do you want to know?
Why are you here?
The master orders us to travel these roads.
And
Who's
who
the
is the master?
He is the powerful one. Stronger than you.
No, I'm sure. Does he have a long face with long fingers for a beard?
His visage is terrible to look upon. But yes, that is roughly how he looks.
And what does he command you to do?
We are to bring back specimens for him.
Any specifics?
He prefers for them to be mostly intelligent.
Well, that saves you, Onyx.
Oof.
Where do you bring them?
I pause on my drum and then just keep rolling through it.
How does the master tell you what he wants?
He has given instructions to our leader, although it seems that you have killed him.
Yes, you don't need to
Where
worry about your leader anymore. How does your leader receive these instructions?
We return from time to time, and he gives us new instructions. Sometimes directly, and other times via the stones.
where do you bring these specimens to your master?
Back to the mines.
Mines. So do you go further down in the mines?
We are near the surface. We
And
have not grown enough yet.
and is your master always in the mines?
Indeed, he does not leave.
Why does your master send you stones instead of just telling you outright what his instructions are?
He tells us sometimes, but other times he is too busy, and so he will leave the instructions for us upon our return.
Busy
The
doing what?
stones do.
Go ahead.
Do those stones do anything else other than provide instructions? Do they let him know where you are?
I do not know.
Yeah. What did your boss say about the stone? Did he talk to the stone?
No, he gets the instructions from it, and then we follow them.
And he gets the instructions from the stone by touching the stone, talking to the stone. How?
I'm not sure. I've never used them myself.
So these specimens, are they dead when you take them? Are they alive? Are they unconscious?
They are meant to be alive, however, we made an error with the recent group of humans that passed through. This is why we have not returned yet. We were hoping to grab another group to replace those that we defeated.
Spoiled those specimens, did you?
Indeed, he would not have been pleased. You would be wise to give up now. Go to him and supplicate yourselves. He will treat you kindly.
Why do you serve him?
Because he is powerful, and he has made us stronger.
How?
I understand things now better than I ever did before.
Can I tell if the goblin is telling things as he knows them to be?
Sure, go ahead and make an insight check.
Has the Mind Flayer physically altered you in any way?
He has
Or
made us
has he-
stronger. So what you can tell, Javid, is that you've talked to goblins before, multiple times. Probably not just the one that you spoke to a few nights ago, the ones that you guys tricked before that, but just in general, spoken to them a number of times. This is a very intelligent goblin. He definitely seems cleverer than any other goblins you've ever met before.
Enhanced somehow.
Something like that.
Can I just kind of look and see if I can see from a medicine check how he's been altered? Like, can I see any type of marks, signs of burrowing, anything that looks like how he might have been altered?
All right. There are no outward signs that this goblin has been changed. You can tell that he has not had any signs of like the tadpoles entering him, so he's not turning into a mind flayer or anything like that. But there's no other like scars or anything else on him that you can find.
No weird tattoos or anything like that?
None that you see.
So, seems like the Mind Flayer is increasing the intelligence of those who serve him somehow. Bring this to the party.
It would seem.
Has he changed his diet recently?
Who, me or the
So
master?
it's getting more fish in his diet.
I'm gonna put my drum away and look at everybody else. Are we done with him?
What is your thing with goblins?
They bode ill will.
Are you gonna
They're
let
not
this one
good.
live?
I'm not going to kill something outside of a reason.
And that's why you have
Oh, he
me.
serves as a mind flayer, so I'll kill him.
He
Where?
does still serve a purpose. Aside from killing him, I mean, he knows where the Mind Flayer is. If we're going to the mind where he is, then surely we would like to have someone can knows the mines well.
Actually,
Can
does Cadmere have a map of the mines? Can we have the goblin look at the map and tell us like where the mine flare is?
Oh, I have a map.
Okay, or Demetari's map.
I'll pull out my crude one. Excited to finally apply it in something.
The goblin kind of looks at it, he's like, sorry, this is not a very clear image to me, I'm afraid.
Can you improve it?
Red there, goblin? Don't figure it out. It's gonna be added to the map. Blood, sorry.
So show us where this map is wrong.
It is, just is, some of your scale is off. If you don't mind, and he kind of shifts so he can, like, pull his hands out. Here and here, and he starts pointing at the map. These should be closer together, and these ones a little bit further apart. But yes, this location here, and he kind of points to a spot, and you guys can tell that he is gesturing towards the mine that Casimir is leading you guys to. That is where the master resides.
Going to like pull the map away and then like quickly correct all the shit that he just put me out on, but definitely not where he's able to see. It was a perfectly fine map, if I say so myself.
No, he's being helpful. By all means, let's let him help us. As long as he's helpful, the others who do not find him useful will continue to find him useful.
And how do we know he's not
Peek.
mind linked with the mind flayer?
There's a way into the mine in the back. I can lead you behind things and take you around some of the defenses.
Do I believe that?
Make an insight check.
Yeah, is he
I'm gonna
trying to
peek over
Yeah, I'm
wait,
gonna do
my.
it too.
Oh,
Isn't his whole job to bring people to this guy?
Yeah, I don't know if I
He's
trust the
definitely
goblin.
trying to trick you
Well.
guys.
Alright, I'm gonna stand up and grab him by the collar and start dragging him away. He's no
Wait,
longer
wait,
useful
wait,
and
wait.
doing nothing but
Towards the
lying to
cliff.
us.
I'm sure that his sense of self-preservation will convince him to stop trying to trick us and to give us straight information.
Are you verbally
I'm gonna look at the
stopping me or
goblin.
physically stopping
Yeah,
me?
yeah. No. I'm verbally. I'm not gonna.
I'm still walking away, dragging him by the back of his neck.
The master will take you all.
If you take us by a route that the master is not expecting, then we can meet the master sooner. Yes,
You'll meet
Without-
him either way.
interference.
I'm gonna put my hand on Javid's shoulder and say, "This must be done."
I'm gonna drag him about 60 or so feet away around the corner to where none of the other party can see.
All right. You drag him behind. There's a boulder a little ways off. And you're just gonna drag him behind it.
I'm gonna slam him up against the boulder.
He spits in your face.
ooh.
It's funny because I'm the one that wanted to do this. And I slowly pull the dagger that none of the other party has seen me use. It's made of the jawbone of a hog, all of the molars and teeth sharpened into a serrated edge. Now, is there anything else that you'd like to tell me that might be useful to me?
Only that the master already knows you are here.
That's fine. I like an entrance. And I slit his throat.
He dies, gargling, collapses against the rock.
While I'm still away from the whole party, I close my eyes in remembrance of a broken being, and then remove his shackles and bring him back to Asriel to give him back to her.
Do you sheath your knife?
Absolutely, it's behind me, kind of like tucked underneath my skirt area. It
You're
kind of
not
hangs.
gonna wipe it off?
No, absolutely not. All the blood that stays on it, but it gets sheathed kind of on my left butt cheek, underneath my skirt.
All right. You return to the group and hand the manacles over to Asriel.
Do we see, do I see blood on his butt?
Probably not. He tucks it away.
Are you licking?
Just figured he might have got too stressed. One of those moments out in the woods. It's too hard.
All right, guys, daily butt blood check.
I'm gonna walk up to Casimir and put my arm around him and be like, I have questions for you. What languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Elvish, and Undercommon.
Alright. Never mind. And I just gonna walk away to set up my bedroll and stuff for the night.
But if you would like, I can speak many more languages.
What do you mean?
I have a spell for that.
Is there a way that I could get a moment of your time to speak more privately? And I kind of like look over to see if anybody's watching us talking.
Sure.
I feel that you're having taken the goblin off and then come back without the goblin would draw our attention a bit.
Oh yeah, I'm doing it like immediately after I come back from dealing with the goblin.
I mean, we knew the goblin was going to go die, right?
I mean,
Expected it.
Didn't have to be happy about it.
Don't have to be upset about it either.
Is it quick?
Quick as it could be.
what did you have in mind as far as using my skill with languages?
It's more of a personal endeavor. It's a thing that I've been looking into recently, but I don't quite have. I kind of look over to see if Javid's like honing in on the conversation.
At this point, Javid's taking the goblin arrows that were harvested earlier and is cleaning them up.
Kind of lean over to Casimir. I don't quite have the mind for it.
Well, if you would like, I can help you.
Please come over here for a minute. And I kind of like lead him into like a little, not like out of the campfire or anything, out of the camp or anything, but more to a secluded area with me, my body covering up most of the party.
All right. And he just follows you.
I pull out the journal that I keep like stashed underneath my skirt as well. Can you make heads or tails of this?
I could read it for you if you give me some time.
How much time do you need?
I mean, if you let me have it now, I could basically have read it for you by the morning.
Just if you could keep the others from knowing about it, that'd be most preferable.
Yes, I could do that.
I reluctantly hand him my journal.
He takes it. Kind of flips through the pages a little bit. I'll have this back to you by the morning.
Appreciated.
As this is happening, Azrael, as you're kind of getting ready for bed, doing your nightly rituals, you look at the edge of the campfire and you see a rat staring at you.
Does it look unnatural?
It just kind of blinks at you and looks at the rest of the party, and then it kind of turns to hop away.
I grab the rat. I just grab it.
All right. Go ahead and give me an... I'll say you can do it with an acrobatics check. Well, rat didn't roll very well. You run towards the edge of the circle. The rest of you see like Azrael suddenly hop up and move towards the edge, and she just like snatches this rat out of the air, and like as you like it like squeals and kind of like flails its arms and moves to like bite your hand, and as you turn it over, you can see that its brain is exposed. It has these like evil little glowing eyes.
Do these look like
Ooh,
mind
cool.
flare pets based off my knowledge of mind flares? Do I know what these are?
It does seem like, and with that, we will end the session.
What?
Ah!
We're gonna fight a
Hell
mind
yeah.
flayer, guys.
Hope you had fun.
Brenna.